Hello again, my little conscripts, and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Mordy and Glory video. In today's episode, we are going to be doing a classic quick tip tactica. And oh boy, do I have a doozy of a tactics video for you today. Because are you a guard commander? Are you sick and tired of your Lord Solar prancing around the battlefield on a horse like some kind of out-of-place Age of Sigmar model? Would you rather your supreme leader rode into battle upon a mighty metal steed, the venerable Leman Russ battle tank? If you answered yes to any or all of the previous statements, then this is the video for you. And if you answered no, then please report to your nearest regimental commissar. And so, without further ado, let's mount up, roll out, and dive right into today's episode. Now, I appreciate that some of you may be a little confused following that bombastic, though somewhat unclear introduction, so let me break it down for you today what we're trying to achieve. We're going to create a tank commander that not only can do multiple orders in a turn, but also knows all of the different types of order in the Guard Codex: Mechanized, Regimental, and Perfectus. So how are we going to achieve this? Well, to start off, of course, we're going to need a tank commander. We then need to upgrade him to a steel commissar using the tank ace abilities. We'll add on a warlord trait of superior tactical training, and that will cost us a CP, and we'll need to use the officer card stratagem to make sure that all works. And then last but not least, we're going to spend a CP for a relic, and we're going to give our tank commander the tactical auto reliquary of Tiberius. So now we know what we need. What do all of these different things do? Well, the tank commander, of course, is first and foremost a big old Leman Russ, and it comes with all of the advantages of being a main battle tank. You've got fantastic durability and loads of long-range firepower. On top of this, though, the tank commander is an officer, and he knows mechanized orders by default, allowing him to act as a force multiplier for the other vehicles in your army. Unfortunately, as standard, the tank commander can only issue one order per turn, which does make him feel a little bit limited. But this is where our relic comes in, because this allows our officer to do an additional order each turn. Suddenly, we're up to 2 orders, but we're still limited to only knowing mechanized ones. Enter left of stage our warlord trait, superior tactical training, which allows an officer to know an additional kind of order that they don't already know. This means we can have our tank commander know regimental orders, and suddenly not only is he doing 2 orders a turn, but he can also order the infantry and his squadron mates. Now, don't worry if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, but surely if I make my tank commander my warlord, it means that I can't take senior officers. And if I take senior officers, then I can't give a warlord trait to a lower level officer, right? Fortunately, there is a way around this. The Guard Codex has a stratagem in it called Officer Cadre. This allows you to give a warlord trait to an officer who is not actually your warlord and who isn't a senior officer. Now, this is all sounding very good, but we still have one more type of order that we need to unlock, which is the Perfectus orders, or also known as Commissar orders. Fortunately, this is really easy for us to do. We simply give our tank commander a tank ace. Tank aces are just paid upgrades that you can put on your battle tanks and your super heavies. It's essentially the same process as giving them an extra set of heavy bolter sponsons. It's just a paid thing that you can put on your vehicle. Now, Leman Russ tank commanders have access to a unique tank ace that you can't put on normal super heavies, Rogel Dawns, or Leman Russes. They get access to Steel Commissar. This ace is really cool. Normally it's seen as a fluff upgrade and not overly competitive, but it's still beloved by the Guard community because it represents a commissar commandeering a Leman Russ and ordering the crew, "Drive me closer, I want to hit them with my sword." Now, this alone is reason enough to take it. The rule of cool trumps all, But in terms of our tactics, Steel Commissar is really important. It's not just fluffy, it's also crunchy, because it gives you access to that final order tree, the Prefectus orders. Not only that, but it also gives our tank commander a bonus order, bringing him up to a total of 3. This is as many as the Lord Solar can do. However, you do need to be aware of a little caveat. Whilst the Tactical Auto Reliquary Relic allows you to do any bonus order, be it Mechanized, Perfectus, or Regimental, the bonus order you get from being a Steel Commissar has to be used for Perfectus orders. So there is a small limitation in there. But even with that slight fly in the ointment, we now have a tank commander who knows all of the different orders, just like a Lord Solar, and who can do 3 orders as well, just like the Lord Solar again. But I know what you're thinking. Mordian Glory, what's the point in going to all of this effort when you could just take a Lord Solar and get it all in one nice, neat package? And he's going to come with some brilliant full rerolls as well. Why would I bother with this? Here's the thing. The Lord Solar is kind of pricey, and he takes up a viable HQ slot. And myself and a few of the guard players are kind of scratching our heads and thinking, is he still worth it? Especially in light of the recent FAQ and Kazakin bomb nerf. Let's be honest, that Kazakin bomb really was the main reason a lot of people were bringing him. The other targets for his rerolls were kind of secondary. You had a few people who were taking him to boost up a Dakadorn, and that's still a great way of using him, but a lot of people were going Kazakin bomb and then essentially using him as a source of reroll ones to hit, reroll ones to wound. But like I said, the Kazakin bomb is essentially dead in the water, and there are much easier and cheaper ways of getting reroll ones to hit and reroll ones to wound in your guard army. For example, you could just use a Death Corps Marshal and a command squad to do exactly the same thing for 60 points cheaper. Sure, this tactic is going to cost you a couple of CP and maybe a few points for Steel Commissar, but those were CP you were going to spend on that Kazakin bomb, which you're not taking now. So you have those CP lying around, you might as well do something with them. Likewise, having to spend 25 points on a Steel Commissar tank case is way cheaper than spending 170 on a Lord Solar. And I know what you're thinking, but Mordian Glory, if you take into account the command squad, and then the Death Corps Marshal, and then the Steel Commissar, surely that's all adding up to being basically almost the same price as the Lord Solar, right? Well, yeah, but also no. Because you are already taking that command squad. No guard player in their right mind would go into battle without one. Same with the Death Corps Marshal. Same with the tank commander. The only additional thing you're paying for in points is that Steel Commissar. So actually, you're not looking at 135 points versus 170 points. You're literally looking at a 25 point upgrade and a couple of CP versus 170 points and a couple of CP for that Kazakin bomb. And let's get down to brass tacks, because if you're still taking the Lord Solar over this combo, you are essentially spending 145 points just for those 4 rerolls. Those 4 rerolls are absolutely essential in the right build. I'm not denying that at all in any way, shape or form. But if you're the kind of guard player that's just been used to taking the Lord Solar and you're still just chucking him into your list, it's probably time that you reevaluate whether he's worth it or not. And if you're not sure, ask yourself this question. Does your Lord Solar come with a battle cannon? Because whether you agree or disagree on the Lord Solar being worth it or not, one thing that he can't do is contribute to the fight directly. He is basically a buffing character, and that's it. But the tank commander brings to the table brilliant firepower, genuine, honest to God Emperor damage output. And if you stack this guy up with a bow cannon, las cannon, and a cheap pair of heavy bolt sponsons, he is not only going to be acting as a mega force multiplier for all sorts of different units around him, but he's also going to be able to take the fight directly to your foe as well. But all of this is just like my opinion, man. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Are you still firmly on Team Lord Solar, or have you moved on and are looking at other things to boost your army now? If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash that like button and also subscribe to never miss an episode. If you found today's video particularly fun or interesting, then please consider becoming a channel member or Patreon supporter. One of the big perks of becoming a supporter is you gain access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with well over 1,000 active members. It's really exploded in popularity. It's always hustling and bustling in the MG Discord, and we've got areas for tactics, list reviews, hobbying, painting, and we've even got a pretty spicy meme channel as well. And I just want to take a moment to say a big thank you to all of the latest members. So thank you to Drotin Ulfa, Couch Spuds, SoCal Soft, Trent Silver, MCTA20D, Jake Alonso, I'm Adequate, Rory Langford, Mammoth Tank 117, David Elmy, John Westhorpe, Robert Anderson, Leonard Pohl, Daniel Hughes, and the voice of Todd. Thank you guys for doing your part. A big shout out to the latest Patreons as well. So thank you to Captain Never Scared, Deathcore Commander, Peter Stella, Tyson Bowman, Craig Smith, Adam Canklin, and the Commissar 357. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreon supporters. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a massive thank you to Alan Blunt III, Bonbon Vert, Mark Panconi, Ridemaster 134-1, Ross Miller, Swordfish Trombone, John Stubbs, Diesel Fox, and August Varney. Thank you guys. Your ongoing and generous support makes a huge difference, and I am eternally grateful to every single one of you. I hope you've all enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching, and of course, as always, I'll see you guys next time.